Hi guys, this is Connie coming to you once again from Connie's exclusive wig ventilating techniques, and today I'm going to be starting on a cap using some deep loose wave hair that I ordered, which is really fabulous. I'm in love with this hair. It is just great, so I'm going to show it to you later. Right now I kind of want to focus on this cap that I am creating. So what I am doing, I've got my weave cap measured. It is tapered onto the mannequin head. As you can see, I have this piece here sewn down so it can kind of fit the head evenly, kind of molds to the head, and then here, and then I have started sewing here. So we're going to get that done. Then we have this 4x13 closure that we will be ventilating on. I'm not sure if I'm just going to go across this front part, if I'm going to do the full. I'm not quite sure on where I am with that just yet. So once we get that started, get all this done, get it tapered down, I'm gonna go ahead and start sewing on the tracks. But first I want to introduce you to this hair that I ordered. This here is the distributor that I use. He has some fantastic, beautiful hair. This here is a 10A1 donor hair, and as you can see, it's beautiful. It's fabulous hair. And see how thick the ends are. And if you do the test here, you don't see a whole bunch of little strands, loose strands. And this here is 16 inches. So, you know, it's really full. It's really nice. And this hair should last a very long time as long as you take care of it the way you're supposed to take care of it. So I have loosened up the tracks on it. I want you guys to see that as well. So as you can see how the tracks are, they're full from top to bottom. Where most tracks that you get, it's like really super thin at the tips. This here isn't. It's full from top to bottom. So yeah, it's some really fabulous hair. So I'm pretty excited about getting this project started. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish sewing this hair down, and then we're gonna go ahead and start adding the tracks in. And then once I get the tracks added in, we're gonna go ahead and start the ventilating process, which you can always order a closure, but my whole thing is sometimes the closures that you want are just not always available, which is what happened to me in this time, because with this hair, I wanted the matching closure. I don't want to just take, get this good grade of hair and then just get any closure to go with it, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a halfway wig. So you're going to have a cap in the back that's beautiful and luscious. You can take care of it. It lasts long, and you put some cheap closure on the top, it's going to start looking pretty yucky after a while. So you want to always make sure whatever you're ordering, if you're ordering the tracks, you get the closure of the same kind of hair. This here is what's going to make your brand fabulous, and people are going to want to come to you. They're going to talk about it, and you don't want people saying negative things about you. So the reason why I am ventilating this closure is because they did not have my closure available at the time. Otherwise, we could have this process done in probably about an hour. But that's not the case. This is why you should always know how to do this technique, just in case you run into those type of problems. And then you can always use the ventilating technique just in case people's hair is thinning. You send them home with the extra hair. They can bring the hair back, and then you can kind of give them a warranty on the product as well, and then just kind of make sure if it starts shedding or something like that, they can bring that hair back, charge them a small fee, and then kind of get it back nice and full for them. So this is why I always go with the top of the line hair, because you can always give them those guarantees, because as long as you treat that hair the way you're supposed to treat it and not put the iron to it all the time, just kind of treat it as natural hair without any chemicals or heat, this hair will probably last you about 2.5 to almost 3 years. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this process out, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to show you how to ventilate. So excited. And take it, pull it through the hole. You're gonna wrap and then pull. It's a fairly simple process. I think this needle here grabs about 3 strands of hair, so I kind of have to be careful with not pulling too much hair, because you will run out of hair if you are pulling too much hair. Can you see what I'm doing here? You're gonna wrap. Like I said, you're just gonna pull it through. Now for like a beginner, you're gonna want to pull a little bit more hair through, so let me try it that way. So we're gonna do that. It's too much hair. Get that one strand. You're gonna pull it out like this. You see how far I got it out? Wrap it, and that way your loop is bigger. I do it the short way because I'm used to it, but when I first started, I would always pull the hair out a little bit and wrap it. That way my loop is bigger. So I got a couple more strands here. And so you're going to pull it, wrap it, and then pull it. When you start feeling yourself moving a little bit faster, you can try and shorten that to maybe down here. But like I said, my advice would be like to bring it all the way out. So I'm just going to do one more little piece here. Like I said, you don't want to pull out too much hair. You're going to waste a lot of hair that way. Like I said, just about this much hair is all you need. And take it, loop it, my camera is about driving me nuts here. So welcome back. This is Connie with Exclusive Wigs Ventilating Techniques. It looks like we are in the final stretches of finalizing this cap process that we're doing. As you saw in the beginning, I went from having a cap, empty cap, to a full cap here now. And what we had was a 13x4 closure. So as you can see, you have plenty of room to work with here with this cap. I'll have to say the time process of it was impeccable, but I got done. So we are pretty much on the final run of this cap. And again, we have it on this side here to where we're just and all this here was a full 100% handmade 13x4 closure. Rest of it in the back, I did use the glue process. I did not feel like sewing, because I knew I had to go through this long process here with the ventilating. So all in all, we have this little strip here left, and then I have to get some of the edging and stuff done, but I wanted to save these last couple of rows for you guys so that I can show you exactly how the ventilating technique process is done, and then we're going to go ahead and finish up our process with finalizing this cap. So I'm going to get the camera and everything situated so that we can look at how you do the actual ventilating, and then we're going to close this session. So hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, we're set up at a bird's eye view to take a look at how we are ventilating each one of these strands, incorporating it into the lace. Again, this is a 13 by 4 lace. The part is not going all the way to the back, but the part does, if you want to part it, it does go all the way, extending way back here. So you pretty much have free reign to do what you want to do with this particular cap because of the width of the closure. So we're going to go ahead and get this ventilating process started, because I know you guys are really anxious to see how this process is done. Again, the reason for me learning how to do making lace wigs and closures and things like that, because back in 2012 they were just bringing the lace wigs onto the scene, and I had no way of trying to figure out how to make them, where to get them, and then they finally had one at a store, and I was able to buy it. I fell in love with it, but I just couldn't, I didn't like how it set. It just kind of sat on my head and had that big old bulk at the top. So it was like one of those typical wigs. So I chose to start investigating and learning how to do this process here myself. It did take me a while. Like I said, I've been doing this since roughly about 2013. And I'm here today to teach you guys how to do it. Because the reasoning for this, as I've said and earlier in this session, is that if you want to build a brand and you want to start doing this and making these for people, you have to know how to repair them. So a lot of people, if the hair is still good, but this hair just seems to thin out, they can always bring this hair back to you for you to kind of add the fullness back into it for them. So, you know, you can make some pretty good money off of just keeping someone's wig or their cap looking full and healthy. So it's something that I always recommend that you know how to do or learn how to do, because you never know when you're making someone's cap where they might be out of the color closure, and you may have to substitute another closure or whatnot. And that's one thing you don't want to do either. I mean, I had a friend of mine, and she had a girl, she's a beautician and she's a stylist, or whatever you want to call them these days, and she did her hair, and she's always done a magnificent job on her hair and her closures and everything. But I guess it was just that one time she didn't have the off black, so she stuck a jet black on top of her head, and I had a huge problem with it. She was okay with it, but I was not okay with it. I just felt like, you know, you being a stylist and you building your brand, you want everybody to look fabulous, and to send someone out of your shop with a jet black closure sitting on top of a number 2 is just totally, it's just insane. You know, I don't want my people to be walking around looking like some of who did it. And me, I'm so petty. I just kept staring at the top of her head because it bothered me so much. So, you know, if it bothered me, it bothered a whole bunch of other people. But again, when you're building a brand and you're dealing with clients, you want to make sure you always give them the best service possible. So if you ever get into a situation to where you run out of closures, you always have this option. Always keep those blank lace pieces around. That way you can always make the appropriate closure for your client. So with that being said, let's get started. This here is my needle. It's my ventilating needle. As you can see, I got rubber bands on it. This here is the best cushion ever, because without it, my fingers would probably be so numb and I wouldn't be able to function without it. So I always get a couple of rubber bands, wrap it around there. You can use a Band-Aid or whatever you choose. This here is the hair that I'm using, which is the same hair, same pattern, same everything, but you only need about this much hair. So you're going to take the hair, you're going to bend it, you're going to make your little loop. So there's your little loop there. I'm going to brighten the light some so you guys can really see. See if I can zoom in some here too. Okay, so is that good for you guys? Okay, so here's our little loop. And we're gonna go into the hole here. I have to get my magnifiers. I have some magnifiers that I use. I'm actually gonna tilt this here more towards me. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go into the hole. Now forgive me when I'm going real slow because I cannot do this really slow. I try, but I tend to mess up when I do. So that there's step one. You pull the hair through. Always pull for tension. Wrap around and then pull. You always want to get that tension. When you get that tension there, that tension is what gives you the easiest way to pull that in. So, can you guys see me here? Do I need to move the camera a little bit closer? I want you guys to get the best angle possible. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. So again, I'm going to go in the hole. I'm going to pull a couple of little strands of hair. Like I said, you pull it for that tension, pull it through the hole. A lot of times when you're a beginner, you kind of just bring it up some. You're going to wrap that around. Once you do that, you're going to turn and pull it through. And again, I'm going to grab a piece of hair, pull, get that tension, twist, turn. Gonna grab, pull, tension, turn. So I'm gonna zoom out here and I'm gonna kind of do the rest of this if I can get my camera to act right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a row, thinking I've got a good angle here. Always kind of leave yourself some gaps. Don't put it too close. Otherwise you will have a very bulky, probably a 700% density wig. And who wants that much hair on top of their head? You know, unless you're doing it like for costuming or something like that, that's something different. But you just always kind of want to make sure you got your spacing, because if you part your hair is not going in a perfect line, not going in a perfect row. So I try to put my hairs in and make it look as natural as possible. Now once I finish this process, I'm going to have to do the last and final process that you have to do, which is bleaching the knots. And that there is an extra that I can throw in for you so that you can see how that process is done as well. But this has been a long journey. I have been up from sun up to sundown working on this cap, trying to get this done because it is time consuming. The best thing you can do if you can already order caps, closures that are already done, that is awesome. You can finish a cap in no time, but you always still want to know how to do this process just in case you can't find the same pattern hair that you're getting from the same company. Excuse me. If they don't have that available. One thing you don't want to do is mix brands. You don't know how one brand is to another, and that can make for big problems later. You don't want people to be having the hair getting all matted up in the back and then the front is good, or vice versa. You know, you want to make sure you're giving them a quality and not two different kinds of hair. So whatever distributor you order from, you make sure you get all your products from there. And if he doesn't have the closure, try to find a company that does have a closure. If they don't, then your last alternative would be, hey, look, I can create you one, but it's just going to take a little bit more time, and then it's going to cost you a little bit more as well, because I'm actually hand making it. So, you know, you always want to give them those options. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2013. It's a process of learning and getting your speed and everything together. I still don't feel like I'm the fastest. I can get into my moments to where I can go really fast, but I have to have like my music and all that other stuff going on. You know, but you have to practice with it. And like I've always said, don't practice with a really good hair. Go get you some synthetic hair. Get you some lace pieces, and then just practice. You know, make you some closures or something. Closures can always come in handy for later. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I will be back with the final product. And then we're going to bleach the knots. And that will be the completed presentation that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys are really learning something. I want to make sure everybody learns. So there's different types of knots as well, which I do teach in my seminars. But this here is kind of just the basics. So we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to come back with the final product, and then we're going to bleach the knots and go from there. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys in a few minutes. So hey guys, that just about wraps it up. I do appreciate you guys stopping in to hang out with me just to kind of see what it is that I do have to offer for you guys. I hope the video was okay. I'm pretty new to this. Everybody's just been kind of on me about putting my work out there, showing people. I do want people to learn. I want people to get very educated on wigs and selling wigs and trying to brand yourself, because a lot of people out there are trying to sell wigs and they're going through these distributors and basically they're selling them garbage. And you know, you guys are charging way too much for the stuff that you have. So my class that I have, it's a long session, but I am preparing it. It was supposed to be here in Austin, but with this thing with the COVID, I have to transition the whole thing over to virtual. So I'm working on a Zoom presentation for you guys, and once I get it together, I would like for you guys to come in and join me. I have a lot of good stuff on there, far as from ventilating, from bleaching to branding, molding, anything that's there. I pretty much have it there. I have been doing this for a very long time, almost 10 years, and I've been watching weave and hair develop since 1987. So watching the changes on hair and the textures and all the different things that goes on with hair, I have learned that, I have mastered that, and I would love to pass that on to you guys so that you can build your brand, because the worst thing you want is to leave a sour taste in any of your clients' mouth. They won't come back. They're going to say bad things about you. It's going to be word of mouth is the worst thing that you can ever have, far as on a negative standpoint. So if you leave them with a good taste, they're going to pass on that good taste, and you're going to grow, you're going to succeed. So that there is what I am trying to do. I want you guys to be able to learn. So I do have that Zoom class. I'm making it so to where it's only 10 people per class. I may try and make it bigger. I'm not sure, especially with it being Zoom. I might be able to pull that off, but I'm not quite sure yet. So if you guys just kind of follow me and keep an eye on what I'm doing, especially through my Facebook page, which I'm sitting here trying to make sure that my screen does not go off, so I think I stuck my keys. But this here is my Facebook page. It's under Connie's Exclusive Creations. If you want to find it, you can always just go onto your Facebook search bar, put in EWVT Lace Wig Making. Connie's Exclusive Creations is going to pop up on your drop down menu. Just click on there. Like I said, I'm just now pretty much starting the page, but if you can go through and like it, that would be awesome. I'm also asking you to subscribe to my channel as well. I'm going to start putting a lot of good stuff on there. But like I said, I want to teach you guys how to do the ventilating process. It is very, very important. This is one of the things that you need to learn. It's just like being a surgeon and you're going to have surgery and you don't have a scalpel. You need to know how to use these tools and these items in order to create a successful business. So, I mean, if you're all for it, go in, check out my page. Like I said, it's fairly new. I don't have that much on there yet, but I'm going to start putting things on there. Just go ahead and hit like or just follow me, and then that way when I do put things up, it can pop up on your page, and then you can kind of see what I'm doing. But again, I do appreciate you guys coming out. If you have any questions, always feel free to message me as well on Facebook. That's m.me/EWVT Lace Wig Making, and it should pull up my messenger. Just shoot me a message. I'll gladly take the time out to help you out in any way that I can. So like I said, I hope you did enjoy the small video that I had for you. That's just the best of things to come, and I appreciate you guys stopping by.